Oh, there we are. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mark Summers, Major Linux, twitch.tv/Major Linux. And it's time once again for another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays for April 6, 2023. And of course, this week I'm joined by Kevy Kev, aka shit, I forgot what it was. The coziest streamer, aka the sweatiest streamer when it comes to Fortnite.
Yeah, I'm the coziest streamer with the sweat. With the
sweats.
Also, Major, get the mist.
Yet again, look, you tell me when to heal, but we're gonna pull out the dub, regardless.
Yeah.
Whether it's 100%, 5%, we're pulling out the dub. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about me. And of course, we're joined this week by the sagiest man, the most wise man, the one who injects the wisdom, the sensibilities into everything. Sinziak is in the building.
Welcome to quarter 2 of 2023.
Yay.
Oof. But yes.
Yay. We did it. Hooray.
Games is coming out.
It's spring break soon, so this is where I remind everybody, put yourselves in airplane mode until that spring break vacation is over.
Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't do that. I'll be able to do, well, shit, even when spring break is over here, I will not be able to put myself in airplane mode.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you're not going on, like, there is spring break and then there is spring break. If you are doing the latter and you find yourself in Myrtle Beach after midnight or in Miami, Florida, or any of those places, slide yourself into airplane mode and save yourself some embarrassment until like at least like 2 days later after you're able to look at things with a sober mind.
That part. Let your head clear.
Like, I promise you, no matter what is going on in these vacations, no matter how wild it is, we as a collective can stand to know a little bit less about whatever is happening over there. You go have fun over there, you come back home and you keep that in your text message groups.
Did y'all hear that a Freaknik documentary is coming out? And when I
did, and I am not prepared. Someone said there's going to be people like kids with their parents' TikToks, like kids with their parents' documentaries on TikTok or something like that. As a joke, I'm pretty sure that's not actually what they're doing, but I wouldn't be surprised if it were. But some of y'all, since we know that Freaknik is basically the East Coast equivalent of going to Las Vegas, I hope y'all are prepared to have some really honest conversations, because some of y'all grew up to be people that acted like you didn't go to these places, and y'all are going to have to talk about it.
The most conservative of black folks be like, see, what had happened was, yeah.
Mother, was this not you in the phone? Father, is this not you in the Speedo? Hello?
Well, I thought you were also going to say thong, but okay.
Oh, that's
no. Like,
so Dad,
we're out here just like
this your thong?
No, it's kind of like, didn't you just like, you went off on me last week about doing this, but here you were doing this and people gave you money. What happened here? You know what? What you need to do is stay in the child. Like, we're about to have every black parent say, what you need to do is stay in a child's place and stay out of grown folks' business. Wow. That's what they're about to. Y'all are about to hear that on repeat. Kevin, when you watch it, tell me how it goes.
I will. I certainly will.
Where is it? Where is it debuting?
Hulu.
Oh, one of the few services I still have access to.
Mm-hmm.
Just wholly out of context.
Ruin, please.
Aquila, Cocalina, and or New Day.
It's about to send nudes when I'm all. I was going to send some nudes and I'm all out of pasta.
No, I mean like that's like at straight
And
up.
posing this
Like,
is like-
would you? If I send you nudes, you can guarantee it will be a plate of beef stroganoff and bone tie pasta. That's what I got for you.
Oh my goodness. Well, this week in tech and gaming news, it's Twitter Talk Thursday, everybody. Oh, Muskie is back in the news. Also,
Muskie go Musk.
Muskie is gonna Musk. Also, somebody killed Sonic. Do you know who?
It was murder.
It was Miodo.
Thunder, lightning. Sound effects.
I wish I could turn off my key lights quickly, but the Stream Deck will not allow me to do so.
Mm-hmm. It was Mario in the kitchen with the pipe.
Wow.
No, I'm sorry, with the pipe wrench. The brand is strong.
The brand is strong. Well, let's get into it, shall we? Starting with me hitting the right button for once and also not looking at Elgato. Where's my monitor? There it is.
What's up to Cal?
Tycho, I'm sorry. I fell asleep.
Cal.
I ate dinner and then fell asleep on you to leave you alone in that Matrix server. My bad. My bad. I'm so sorry. Starting off first with General Motors to phase out Apple CarPlay, and because this is MacRumors, it did not mention the other one, but also Android Auto in their EVs. They're like, you know what? Nah, we don't want you to plug in your phone and get things from your phone. We're going to use Google's in-car infotainment system, which I believe is Android Automotive or Google Automotive or some shit.
What on earth is this mess?
They don't say what it is. But yeah, so apparently it is Google's in-car infotainment system, which has been debuted before, and it looks very, very new and futuristic. However, and I'm pretty sure like it works well with Android phones, but I'm pretty sure those who want that nice Apple experience, the Apple CarPlay experience, they're not going to get that anymore. Which kind of sucks. So it's like, hooray for Android, but you know, for some of us with iPhones, what are we to do? But what are we supposed to do? Wait. Oh yeah. I guess we could, but I don't know if we are fans of General Motors, then you know, waiting isn't going to do us. Wait. Why did they replace both then? Why not just replace Android Auto? Well, what they do like so. Well, Android Auto. No, Android Auto. Yeah, wait, hold on. Let me get it right. Android Auto, or whatever Google's new thing is, it's not called Android. Android Auto is the plugin for Google as it already exists. Android Auto, or the thing that they are replacing it with, is like a top down, like Google is running the infotainment in the car itself. Like it is already built in. When you turn on the car, it is Android loading
it's a
into
bespoke solution, if you will.
Yeah.
It's a bespoke solution. We are going to use those terms because I'm pretty sure everybody here by now knows what that means. Because you know, one thing that we're gonna do And one thing that we're gonna do in tech is like, capital letters on the capitalism. Like let's go ahead and just throw that one out here early because I believe something that
I fixed it.
Capitalism.
Because as Major said in a different but somewhat related thing, these people just hate the open web. They hate having people just being able to access things, and I will never understand it.
Well, see, I don't think for them it's so much like they don't hate people accessing it. I wonder, again, it's that thing of how many people were actually using Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, and if they realize that, hey, if we just put this Google system in here that just, and it may interface with the iPhone, it may, because nobody's used this Google infotainment system before. So there's no telling what the interactivity with the mobile phone would be. I don't know. For all I know, it could be like when you pull up GPS, it's Google Maps, which people were probably using even on their iPhones. It probably allows you to sync with your phone, to use Spotify. Apple Music is on Android, so that might work if you're using an iPhone. It's weird, but my whole thing is like, if I was one of those people who was using Apple CarPlay, and all of a sudden I get my new Chevy Volt or Camaro or Corvette or something like that, and this isn't built into it, like I can't plug my phone in and get Apple CarPlay like I'm used to in my old car, this seems weird.
Like if y'all don't want us to buy cars anymore, just say that.
I mean, that will probably be great for the environment, but
I mean, if we're like, let's go ahead and say, you want to know what would be good for the environment? If someone managed to go ahead and cop whatever those plans are and actually properly build the Hyperloop that they said they were going to build, like however many ages ago that was.
Lightspeed rail, please.
Lightspeed rails operated by people who only work 8-hour shifts at a time so that they can be awake and fully conscious when they're moving trains across the country.
And also I think Merge just hit it on the head. Ultimately, I believe it's them wanting you to subscribe to something, but it would be weird to see how they would gate the service on this Google automotive platform. Yeah, that seems weird, but I don't know. Yeah, it seems weird, but again, capitalism going to capitalism, and it'll manifest itself in such an ugly way. And it's like, yeah. Luckily, when this news came out last week, there were definitely people all over the net like, say, yep, nope, this ain't a great idea. Don't do this. Nope, I don't like that. Also, to be fair, another thing that might be another thing that we might have to consider is how they're planning to implement it, because I don't think there is a landscape version of Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, and they may be trying to do like that huge tablet size screen, which I've only seen working with Google Automotive or whatever the fuck it was called. Ooh, you get a base model electric car with no frills. You just get a search engine. That's it.
To Cal, you're about to give me a whole, I'm just going to put this out here. You know something? I'm not. I'm going to slide into Discord and go post that over there because let me just find my way over to Major's house while I'm doing that. The very thing that this podcast is powered by.
Oh, very much so.
I was going to slide into that commercial and was just like, no, wait, give it a second. Let me not do that. We just got here.
If you're nosy and want to see what Sin is going to post in my Discord, there are the links.
Ruin over here talking about this like it's Photoshop.
I mean, Hopefully they'll
And it's
ask
not,
you
and
before you.
it's
Hopefully they'll ask before you make the call and then get charged.
they're not, what they're not going to do is ask. They're probably going to post something on Twitter or something like that that's going to blow up and be like, oh, you see how they ended these conditions? I got a screenshot from the previous version of the terms and conditions and the new version of the terms and conditions.
No, well, I'm referencing Tesla when you, like, they don't ask you when you turn on that self-driving mode. You turn it on and then you get charged. That's a bummer. But speaking of Tesla and co-pilot, autopilot, whatever the fuck they call it, Twitter takes its algorithm open source as Elon Musk promised. Just after Twitter's source code was published to GitHub, Twitter then responded by saying, hey, look, this is probably what you were looking for. This algorithm, not the source code to the website, but the algorithm is like right here. According to Twitter's blog post, the recommendation pipeline is made up of 3 main stages. First, it gathers the best tweets from different recommendation sources. Then it ranks those tweets with a machine learning model. Lastly, it filters out tweets from people you've blocked, tweets you've already seen, or tweets that are not safe for work before putting them on your timeline. See, Jane Mansion Wong mentions here on Twitter, Twitter's algorithm specifically labels whether the tweet author is Elon Musk. Besides the Democrat, Republican, and VIT/power user, I think it means a legacy verified labels. So let's see, let me take a look here. Yeah, so author is Elon, author is power user, author is Democrat, author is Republican. Yeah, that's
I'm sure it's fine.
Somebody
sure
also
fine.
corrected. Someone also like put in a possible correction to Jane here. It says, if I recall, VIT is a separate designation from verified. Usually, early partners who get access to test features, like the folks who got NFT profile pics a little early, or musicians getting voice tweets. Let's see here, trying to. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yep. Source goes out, and there have been a lot of people who've been making a lot of discoveries into what it is. I don't have much of that now, but yeah, I would not be surprised in the coming days we still see more and more things coming out from the algorithm. Also, I would not be surprised that because it's now been published here, that it doesn't change. What's going on, Young? Let's see. You want to know something funny? That will probably be an excellent segue to Tesla story I posted earlier today. There's another Tesla story. I can mash that in. I did not include that one, but yeah, I can mash that one into the Tesla stuff. Twitter designates NPR as U.S. state affiliated media.
You know, the idea of there being state approved media, girl. So, content warning for alcohol, but right, I am currently enjoying a bit of Coca-Cola and a blend of Blue Chair Bay banana flavored rum. very smooth, very enjoyable, very a little bit on the sweet side for those of you who enjoy those things. Because nope.
Respect.
Quote, we were disappointed to see last night that Twitter has labeled NPR as state affiliated media, a description that per Twitter's own guidelines does not apply to NPR, end quote, the broadcaster CEO John Lansing said in a statement. Quote, NPR and our member stations are supported by millions of listeners who depend on us for the independent fact-based journalism we provide. NPR stands for freedom of speech and holding the powerful accountable. It is unacceptable for Twitter to label us this way. A vigorous, vibrant free press is essential to the health of our democracy, end quote.
Well, I appreciate that NPR had the awareness to say that, but also, okay, you know, this isn't in the scope of topics to be covered in this show, because this podcast, although it touches on a lot of political things because that's the nature of the world that we're in, is not primarily a political podcast. However, between statements like this, the other stuff that I see in media headlines, the things that have happened on the government floors of one state of Tennessee today, between all of those things, there is something to be said about a statement being made like that when you know in this country that's like unlikely, that's actually like high key illegal. So
wait, what is illegal?
Like as I understand it, right? There isn't supposed to be, or at least in this country, like a federally like a state media or something like that. Like something like that
you
wouldn't
said
exist.
that you've activated my trap card.
I'm ready for this. No,
Meanwhile,
I'm not.
Voice
This
of
is why I
America,
have
a
Rum
broadcaster that is owned by the U.S. government, does not have a state-affiliated media label on its Twitter account. We do have state-owned media.
Takal, thank you for that. Thank you for that reference. I see you and I appreciate you.
The Ministry of Truth.
Child, whatever ministry it is, that is not mine.
Voice of America is state-sponsored government agency or government media. NPR is not. On Tuesday, Musk responded to a tweet that criticized NPR over a report suggesting that European right-wing politicians are lobbying a conspiracy theory that elites want people to eat bugs. He replied with an exclamation point. The user who posted the thread went on to claim that NPR is worse than the propaganda of Maoist school children during the Cultural Revolution.
Pardon? Ooh, these people are wild out here.
In response to a user who gave him acknowledgement for the move, Musk tweeted a portion of the state-affiliated media policy that reads, quote, state-affiliated media is defined as outlets where the state exercises control over editorial content through financial resources, direct or indirect, political pressures, and or control over production and distribution. Musk wrote that the definition, quote, seems accurate with regards to NPR. When are people going to realize that Twitter is just Elon's plaything?
Yes, Takao, please get your water, please, cause oof.
Like Twitter's just
Earth
basically
is ghetto, I wanna leave.
No, I should not be forced to leave because white folks don't know how to behave themselves. Or rich white folks don't know how to behave themselves. We were here first. We are not going to leave first. Eat the motherfucking rich.
Not unless they sit in a room, put up names on a screen, and just have everybody hit a green button so you can see in real time, like the crashing of a stock market, which things lit up red and which ones lit up green.
Can we just have Hunger Games with the 1%?
You know something?
We just look up in the sky and they shoot a cannon, and you just think like, finally, another one gone. And at the end of the night, on the screen, it just shows which ones died. From District Tech. I mean, you're right, Tycho. You're right. But, you can't talk people out of it. I've tried. So I just gave up, and I'm just enjoying my best life. Just free from it all. I forgot who it was. I'm willing to bet that if I pull up a Mastodon,
it's the way that you.
Let's see. I'm gonna scroll down here. I'm pretty sure he's posted lately. Well, probably not, because he tends to post at random hours.
Well, actually, you want to know what? How long do you think is going to be? Let's imagine the worst future possible for a second. How long do you think is going to be before Twitter starts suing every other social media platform, trying to cannibalize them all?
NPR hasn't tweeted since Musk's unjust labeling decision, and its bio now directs visitors elsewhere. You can find us every other place you read the news.
I appreciate the sass on that. I do. Ruin. Here's the thing, though. The way that things are happening now, I read some stuff on that resist bill. Girl, we might be looking at it.
Yep.
And it don't look cute.
This is me, though. Hope Twitter has fun with that, because can't be me.
Major gonna say is that couldn't be me. Like, waiting for them to be like, so yeah, we just bought we bought the whatever. We have done some legal shenanigans that are actually not at all legal, but we won't find that out for like another 20 years. Wherein Mastodon, a platform that isn't technically, I suppose, owned by anybody, is now centralized and owned by one particular person, and it's a person that you hate.
Yeah, too bad that won't happen. Ha 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 ha. Because we can just defederalize from whoever says they own it. It's like, man, sucks to be you. Can't get any of our shit.
Like Voltron.
Just
when you think the monster got the grip on Voltron and be like, disconnect 4 lions, and then it's like, whoop.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so many forks. It's like, I feel like people just don't understand how open source shit works. The code is out there. So many fucking forks in that source code, and so many different versions are going to open up overnight. Like, oh, excuse me while I just sidestep that one part.
Yeah. I am absolutely going to make a Twitter clone called Bitter just to make sure that people can subscribe to it and see what happens.
I mean, there's already Twitter 2. It's called T2.
I just want to call it Bit. No, I specifically want to just call it Bitter, just on purpose.
Create a Mastodon instance and just call it Bitter.
Are there bitter people on that? Are there bitter people on Mastodon?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You call your instance Bitter. Just call your instance Bitter and just join Mastodon. Look,
I just dropped a bit. Yeah, good bit.
Yeah, look, don't call your posts toots. Call them bits.
I just dropped a wheat.
Yeah, I bit on Bitter. I bitted on Bitter.
I just remembered. Remember GTA?
Mm-hmm.
Remember what their thing for Twitter was? It was like Bleeder. It was like, oh, I just did a bleat.
But see, Tycho, the funny thing is, Mastodon and Pleroma are the same damn thing. They all plug into ActivityPub. It's like, it really doesn't even matter.
Look that up.
It's all in the fucking Fediverse, and it's great. It's all federated. And we can choose to engage with or not engage with. It's amazing. So much power. See, I want to read this. People aren't going to care about how. Oh, wait, no, that's not the one. It's the CEO one. That's what I want. The CEO of Master has been out in the public, and I wouldn't put it past Musk to go after him, even though it's open source and in the vein of other things that Musk has been trying to do.
Yeah.
Musk don't want the smoke, though. He really don't. Because, like, the fact that it is, like, decentralized, federated, like, if he tried to get into it, it's like Sandman. It's just forms around him. Like, you just punch in. It's like we just make a hole.
Or in DC's case, Clayface.
That too, just wet sand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Musk would not know how to handle this shit.
Cause it would just split.
You say that like he knows how to handle literally anything.
That's a good point, but yeah,
like
actually, I got nothing.
I don't think he'll make it to like Twitter's end. I think it'll just be like he's just doing everything he can to buy time for Twitter until like.
Well, he's trying to find a CEO so that way he doesn't have to do the day to day.
See, that was his first mistake. He did it on his own. We said this when it came up. If he had just bought Twitter, came in, tote that barge, lift that bail, and never fired anybody, and literally just said, I have Twitter now. Twitter is me. And every day he'd just be like, don't do it. Leave that alone. It's me. My tweets are elevated. Their tweets are not elevated. You know, like he made the calls and whatever else, and people left to protest. That's one thing. That's one way. But he came in, you know, guns blazing like Duke Nukem, you know, with the sink, and then tried to run it himself when he didn't know what he was doing and fired everybody all willy-nilly and cut whole features because somebody hurt his fifis in one of them. Like, he cut spaces out because, oh, my fifis. And then, like, you know, when he could have just said, I'm running Twitter. Twitter is me, and I'm going to let the people do what you do. With a few caveats and changes.
So much for that town square.
Yeah, so much for the town square. Because again, as we now know,
that town square is barely a rhomboid.
Right. And that's the one thing about billionaires. Billionaires don't care about free speech.
No.
Billionaires want to look good.
Mm-hmm.
Billionaires want to look good in the eyes of other billionaires and people who are less rich than not as rich as he. He want to be looked good in the fan base. And if he'd have just said, oh, okay, all right, guys, I bought Twitter. Everything's gonna be great now because I own it. And he changed nothing, and he touched nothing. They would have thought he was a freaking genius. And they would have thought he was a freaking genius by him just owning it and not touching it. But he tried to make it a profitable company. But here's the problem with social networks. They're not profitable companies. They make money in the vein of other sources of income. Through ads, through data tracking, through data broking.
You know something? There's an article we have this week related to that, and I'm just gonna hold that thought because I know it's up there.
Yeah, it wasn't like losing money, but it wasn't making money. It wasn't making a profit. It made its operationals. It kept the lights on. It fed people. It clothed people. It made jobs, but it did not make the money.
And that's something that we kind of have to keep in mind. That's something that we have to keep in mind with a lot of things when it comes to companies talking about like their operations cost and like firings and all of those other things. In a lot of those cases, what they have is it's not that we're doing badly. It's that we
Right.
feel that we could be making more money, and somehow we aren't, and we have to recoup the money that we feel like we should be making.
But,
I.e.
Twitter, but in
layoff.
Twitter's case, they weren't making the money. They actually were losing money.
They weren't making profits. They basically it was either
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. They weren't making profits. Like
they were keeping the lights on. They were keeping the code running. That's what they were doing.
they were spending more money than they were making it. Like they were
Right.
just in the red. Period.
They were just if they were in the red or they just broke even.
No,
that was it.
They were in the red. Like they just weren't making money.
Right. And so when they were like, "Hey, we want to sell," they were like,
So what?
"Bet." They were like, "Twitter, you want to buy it? What's your price? That much? Pay it."
No, they probably knew no one was gonna buy it, but then Musk came through and said, "I'll buy it." Wait, what?
Huh?
For real?
How much?
Okay, all right, good. We got that on paper. Oh, now you want to? Nah, motherfucker. Nah.
No,
we wrote
pay the price.
We wrote it down.
He had to buy it at the price that he said he was going to buy it as. That was the whole thing. And people were talking about, "Oh, they should fight the price." They were like, "Nah, we want to get this mug." Shareholders was like, "Nah, fam, we want to get up out here. We want to get back on our beat. We want to get back on our beaches in the Caribbean. We want to get out of this mug." And so we came in and bought it. So now the real question is, who actually owns it? Because it's not Musk. Musk has control over it. But he doesn't. But who actually owns it? That's the real question.
I mean, but that's about the same question of who owns my car because the bank gave me the loan.
Right.
Who owns my house because the bank gave me the loan.
Exactly. Who
I mean,
owns it?
technically, I own it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I just got to pay some people back.
Right.
So
Like-
Musk technically owns Twitter. He just gotta pay.
What?
Look.
Yeah.
Look.
Who paying that
Look.
signatory? Who paying that?
Look. Don't. I don't believe none of y'all. Not highlighting any of it. I'm not highlighting any of your comments. Nope. Not. No.
I mean, they're not. I mean, they're not.
They're
Not wrong.
They're not wrong.
But that's what I'm saying. Who owns it? He's just saying like, "Yo, I'm making the payments."
Like I feel like if I'm the one making payments,
these
I'm the one who owns it.
Yeah, he's broke boy fresh right out here. But he's like,
Yeah.
bro, you ain't had it to pay it. So who actually owns it?
I got my bills and my money.
Not that. Okay. See, what we're not gonna do. We're not gonna come for Hood Rich.
We just renting it. Yeah,
We're not gonna do that. Don't do that.
I'm just wondering if after all this nonsense, if Twitter is losing more or less. I mean, they're not paying rent, and they fired like over 75% of the workforce, right?
More.
So
They're losing more.
If I'm
damn,
not
they're
mistaken,
losing more. Oh, I guess if they're losing assets, maybe they are.
And then it's like what they charge people
if
for
I'm
like.
not mistaken, if I'm not mistaken, aren't there people calling for them being like, homie, you owe us rent. Where are you?
I believe to you right now. We are not paying your rent.
Hello. I know
believe
you have a
this-
working phone. I know you got about 50 of them. Where are you?
I'm sorry, but I believe that you're calling me. It is a political attack.
Okay, call a locksmith. We're changing the locks.
That is a political attack, and I do not believe that is illegal under your U.S. justice system.
Oh, trust me, the sheriff. Sheriff get called. They change them locks. They changing the locks. Sheriff got to pull up. They change the locks. All these computers are ours.
You know something? Now they're changing the locks, and they might be looking around like, you know what? Since they made it have to come all the way out here, we might as well get some extras. What looks good in here?
I mean, imagine if like they that the landlord effectively owns Twitter.
Well,
It's like, yo, they can't go because if I'm not saying like the servers are in that building, but what if
I'm
they
gonna
were?
turn Twitter HQ into a Jamba Juice,
Ooh, that would be funny.
a multi-floor Jamba Juice. You have to go to the correct floor to get the flavor you want.
Airbnb the office.
I mean, Buzz tried that.
True.
It was the worst Airbnb.
True. Yeah. Twitter by W.
Twitter by W. Oh my god. Let's see here. Tesla.
I hate it all. I hate it so much.
Oh gosh, yes.
Tesla worker who rejected $15 million award in racism case has payout cut to $3 million. One jury awarded Owen Diaz $137 million. New jury says $3.2 million is enough.
It's never enough.
Hold on for a moment. How did you just go? This is you know something? I feel like this is a nice round number. You don't really need more than this, do you?
You don't need that other 12. Three is good.
If y'all don't run me my fucking money.
Where the money resides.
Because like here's the thing, you don't want to give me all my money, but you want me to run you these taxes every year. I'm gonna tell you what, you don't send me the rest of my change and you will not be getting a 1099, a W-2, a 1035, none of that. I'll fight you and your mama.
Oop.
So just so we're understanding about what happened here, after the first trial in October 2021, a jury in U.S. District Court for Northern District of California ruled that Tesla should pay $137 million to Diaz. That was the first number. So you asking for where is my other 12 million? No, how about where is my other 134 million?
That's a drop.
In April 2022, U.S. District Judge William Orrick reduced the award to $15 million, saying that was the highest amount supported by the evidence and law. So again, just so we're clear, $122 million savings. Diaz rejected the judge's $15 million award and sought a new trial on damages only. The judge's final instructions to the 8-person jury said it has been conclusively determined that Tesla is liable to Mr. Diaz for 1, creating a hostile work environment based on race in violation of federal law, 2, failing to prevent racial harassment in violation of federal law, and 3, negligently retaining and supervising one or more of Mr. Diaz's supervisors in violation of California state law. When Org decided that Tesla would pay $15 million last year, he wrote that the evidence was disturbing. The jury heard that the Tesla factory was saturated with racism. Diaz faced frequent racial abuse, including the N-word and other slurs. Other employees harassed him. His supervisors and Tesla's broader management structure did little or nothing to respond, and the supervisors even joined in on the abuse, one going so far as to threaten Diaz and draw a racist caricature near his workstation. Diaz, who was black, operated a freight elevator and worked at Tesla's Fremont, California factory for 9 months starting in June 2015. His legal team reportedly asked the jury last week to award $8 million in compensatory damages and $150 million in punitive damages. After yesterday's $3.2 million verdict, Diaz's attorney, Larry Organ, said, "I don't think that the truth drove the decisions here. I think it was It was a show whereby Mr. Diaz was attacked and his credibility was questioned, according to a Wall Street Journal article." Tesla CEO Elon Musk weighed in on Twitter, writing, "If we had been allowed to introduce new evidence, the verdict would have been 0, in my opinion. Jury did the best they could with the information they had. I respect the decision."
The silence here between the three of us says absolutely everything we could ever hope to say.
That part. I've been mad about that 100. I've been mad about that 100, but I took that 15, and I've been like, deal. Mad than a motherfucker, because When I tell you, imagine how much you could have, how much a company could have saved by not being an asshole.
Be like, I feel like, like I feel like they would have gotten no money if it had been first thing, Musk, like the current situation you're in makes it clear that you are not qualified to speak on this. But further, we feel like this is an appropriate amount of money based on the evidence. And it's kind of like you found the evidence initially disturbing, then you reviewed it and found it conclusive enough to award someone millions of dollars. But you're just like, I feel like you could just have a little bit less though. And of course, the person who has parents that were like part of apartheid or just like, I feel like there should have been nothing awarded in this case. Child, if you don't.
Mm-hmm. Investment off daddy's emerald mine. Boy, if you don't get your ass.
Just
Hell is more than lukewarm.
Mind you, aren't they also, because like while this is happening, is Twitter also being like in another like legal entanglement is the word I want to use here, in a legal entanglement with like some like department for like ethics or something like that around this same kind of subject?
I have no clue.
Is this the DFEH or something like the DEFH or like I think it's something like that? They're currently in a lawsuit for like something along that same line. I think they have. I think that's also happening.
Don't surprise me.
And this is what Taika was mentioning since we're in the Tesla part of the show here. Tesla employees reportedly shared videos captured by cameras on customers' cars. They even shared a clip of a child being hit by a car, according to Reuters. Some Tesla workers shared sensitive photos and videos captured by the cameras on owners' cars between each other for several years, according to Reuters. Former employees told the outlet that colleagues shared the images in group chats and one-on-one communications between 2019 and last year. One such video showed a Tesla driver at high speed before hitting a child on a bike. Other footage included things like a nude man walking towards a vehicle. We could, quote, we could see them doing laundry and really intimate things. We could see their kids, in quote, one of the former employees said. Workers are said to have sent each other videos taken inside Tesla owners' garages too. One clip reportedly showed a submersible White Lotus Esprit sub that appeared in the 1977 James Bond movie The Spy Who Loved Me. As it happens, Tesla CEO Elon Musk bought that vehicle a decade ago, suggesting that his employees were circulating footage that a vehicle captured inside his garage. The image sharing practice, quote, was a breach of privacy, to be honest, end quote. One of the former employees said, quote, and I always joked that I would never buy a Tesla after seeing how they treated some of these people, end quote. Well, oh, also Tesla doesn't have a communications department that can be reached for comment. Who knew?
Sure would like to know what y'all think about this. Oh, wait.
Court rules Elon Musk broke federal labor law with a 2018 tweet.
Here's the thing. We are 4 months late. Didn't we already tell y'all that this man was about to start getting hit with these things?
Pop one again after the lawsuits get here.
Because I straight up said we straight up out here like this man is about to get hit left, right, and center with these lawsuits for all of these violations, and we're just sitting here waiting. When I tell you, I'm sitting here like,
But
like
to be
this.
fair, what was happening 4 years ago?
Hold on, no, not an insurrection. No, wait, not a pandemic.
I mean, just think about who was in charge, though.
No, wait. No, I'm just like, no, we're just processing things. So wait, no, not a pandemic. No, not the insurrection, because that came some months later. Oh, right. You mean during the reign of the papaya potentate.
The tangerine dream. I'm sorry, that's a nightmare.
I was about to say, don't do that.
The orange oligarch.
So Elon Musk broke U.S. labor law in 2018 when he tweeted Tesla factory workers would forgo stock options if they chose to unionize. According to a federal appeals court on Friday, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, in a decision spotted by Business Insider, upheld a National Labor Relations Board (NLRB) ruling that found Musk made unlawful threats around employee compensation.
Now, I just want to point out here, wasn't this his first week as the Twitter CEO?
Wait, what?
Wasn't this like his first month as the Twitter CEO? And when I say that, right?
What are you talking about? This happened back in 2018.
I was about to explain that part. Did you want me to continue with that?
Yeah, like I'm confused here.
Okay.
It sounds like doesn't make sense to me.
When he came into power in Twitter, one of the first things that ended up happening were a whole bunch of news cycles of him being like, well, if you want this as a part of your employment, if you want severance packages, etc., and so on, we need you to agree to these things. Otherwise, you have to forego these other things that I reasonably would have to pay you in order to read the contract to decide yes or no, or what have you. Like, there was a very similar kind of thing that he did, like right after becoming the official CEO of Twitter. So I'm waiting for them to come up with lawsuits around how he handled that first week of things.
They've already done that.
That already happened?
They were already suing him for that.
No, I'm just saying, I'm waiting for, because like, unless that case is like open and shut and they've been like, hey, this is what you need to run these people, I'm waiting for the rest of that to happen.
Yeah, look, this is for 2018. We're going to be here for a while.
So like, I will see y'all. But you're with me now when I'm just like, oh, so you mean just like the first week of like the first couple of weeks of Twitter where he was doing all of that nonsense? Because now I expect if they were just like, hey, we ruled that you kind of fucked up here, you need to run some corrective monies or whatever. I'm waiting for that to happen again about all this Twitter stuff. Yeah, we're just waiting for the repeat.
There's a backlog because, again, we pointed out what was happening in 2018.
What was happening in 2018? That person's still banned on Twitter. Like, I don't.
No, he's not.
I'm a hush.
No, he's not.
Wait. Oh wait. That's right. They had a whole celebration about him being reinstated.
He is reinstated, but he was like, you know what? Nah, people are paying me too much to be elsewhere.
Yeah, I'm good on my own network. So,
are you though?
No. But that's the lie.
Again, like the perfect phone calls. The one that was more perfecter.
Yep.
Again,
the Mueller report.
A leader of the free nation had a perfecter phone call.
Mm-hmm. And be like, hey, you
like, okay, Major, we're not gonna do like.
I know language is made up.
Major, we're not gonna.
Language is made up, but
we're not gonna do that, Major. Leave that man and his goveffe alone.
Goveffe. That was
in yet another attack on
Titan
news outlets. Musk revokes New York Times Twitter badge after news org refused to pay $1,000 a month.
Didn't we come back to this thing where Kevin said about needing like money needing to be here because social media platforms in and of themselves as a platform are profitable? It's what the content, the people are the product as far as those platforms are concerned, unless they work with ad partners and things. And you looked at this ad partner and said, run me $1,000 for this blue check mark. And they went, bitch.
No. We bought ads. We bought ads. A lot of them bought ads, promotion tweets.
The amount of people who took screenshots of themselves with that blue check mark before it got removed just so they could prove that they had it, wild.
And then on top of that, Twitter was doing the thing of this account either had paid for Twitter Blue or is a legacy holder. And it's like, so I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to fight those who are doing the stigma of saying like, oh, I pay for my blue check, or I'm a legacy holder, by just saying it could be one, it could be both. We can't say which. It's just one. You just have to figure out which one.
You know it's because that a whole bunch of people went and said, we're gonna clown these people if we see them with these paid blue check marks. This person had $10 for Elon for a blue check. Right, they did that. And so there was one person who was just like, I know enough about how the internet works to go, let me write this ambiguous asset and so you don't know which one of those you're getting. Exactly. Not that it mattered, because these people went and took their verified accounts and decided to be like, this is with my blue check mark so you know it's real. Oh, Francis tweets.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at this
should be free.
Looking at this feels like Bob from Bob Belcher?
Builder?
No, Bob Belcher without his mustache. Like it's That's really funny. Fucking God, man.
Mm-hmm.
But then I love this. Actually, surprisingly, this tweet was actually written back when not too long after Musk got into power. It's almost like they knew something was up.
Mm-hmm. They were like,
look, find us elsewhere.
Be like, come to our alt account.
They said you can catch me in the hotspot.
Mm-hmm. Catch me on Friendster, MySpace.
Bitch, not Friendster. No, not Friendster.
Find us on our website. Pay us $3 a month for pure. Join our Patreon.
Wow, Positively Libertarian a few days ago said, "I'm sorry that happened to you."
That's funny. That's hilarious.
Someone got a verified thing and said, "Hey, my name is Libs of TikTok, and I just want to say," and I'm just like, I love everything about this.
See, it's got the two splits.
Oh yeah, I love this. This account is verified because it's subscribed to Twitter Blue, or is it less? Man,
so you can't tell.
Just own up to your bullshit.
Just say this account is verified. Done.
No.
Major said
I subscribe to Twitter Blue. That's it. Own up to your bullshit.
Major said no, but hands, because I want no. You decided to be a clown. Let's go ahead and be a clown together. Come out here.
Own up to your bullshit.
Stand 10 toes down and say you got $10.
Exactly.
Give to Elon Musk.
Exactly.
Stand 10 toes on that. Stand up. Stand 10 toes down.
Y'all care so much about fucking vanity and image. And I remember I was trying to say, because I forgot to say it because I was looking for the person who was making those posts on Mastodon yesterday. But they were talking about how we can get journalists on the Fediverse. And it's like, because of the blue check mark, ain't nobody leaving. Because they don't want to start over. It's like, didn't somebody say that in November of 2022? Mm-hmm. During my attempt to evangelize the Fediverse? I said it loud and proud. a whole bunch of people aren't leaving fucking Twitter because of the fact that they'd have to start over and they'd have to be like the fucking plebes, and they don't want that. They too babyish. They too just full of themselves, too full of shit to sit there, own up, and build a community. If you got that community you said you had, you would have done this and left this fucking racist sociopath and his shit of a website alone.
Right.
I said that with my whole ass chest.
Yep.
And it's funny, somebody come out and say like, oh yeah, journalists aren't going to leave because, you know, they got an ego. Gasp.
Right.
You don't say.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. But I feel like people at some point, people just going to have to get up. People just going to have to get up and go, because that's the extent. You know.
Tycho, that's exactly who they were fucking talking about. They were talking about Taylor Lorenz, who definitely was not. Who definitely was the just the nicest person when they joined Mastodon. Like the first thing they started complaining about, we want quote posts. We want to quote the post. Mastodon should get this because Twitter has it. Like, shut the fuck up. Sit down.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. George, see, folks from Star Wars, they got principles. I can see why some people are definitely Star Trek over Star. Wait, did I say Star Wars? I meant Star Trek. I meant to say Star Trek because again,
I was trying to hit you with that Bill Duke. You know you fucked up, right?
Yeah, I meant to say Star Trek. Star Trek motherfuckers got fucking principles.
Yeah.
Like at least they knew what the fuck they were doing on that show. On either show, they knew exactly what the point was, what Gene Roddenberry was trying to do.
Yep.
And it's 60s. Like they stood with that shit even after their roles were done. I mean, I don't know about Bill Shatner, but like again, like George Takei, fucking Jean-Luc Picard, oh damn, that's his character name. Patrick Stewart, LeVar Burton, I want to say probably even damn, what's his name? Leonard Nimoy.
Mm-hmm.
Like they knew what the fucking vibes were from that show, and like these are people who kind of stood up with those morals even after their roles.
We gotta talk about for a little bit since we brought up Star Trek. I caught myself. So
I didn't.
Yeah, you did. I think about the kiss between Nichelle Nichols and William Shatner, because that was a pivotal moment, because that was the first interracial kiss. That was the first interracial kiss ever on television, like ever. And so, and the context of that scene is they were basically coerced through a psychic link, and they were like pushed to like kiss each other by these like hedonistic alien types. And so it was kind of like, to see the kiss, it's like you would think it's like, oh, they're just kissing. It's like, no, they are forced to kiss. And it's not like, oh, I am forced to kiss this. I am a white man and I am forced to kiss a black woman. This is uncomfortable. I am uncomfortable. It's no, I am a captain and I am like forced to kiss my communications officer, and I'm not okay with that. And so it was more like you're being forced to kiss a colleague against your will, and it don't feel right. And it was acted out in said scene. But to say that Star Trek has never been like moved mountains, has never like pushed the envelope of what television could be to show people who were Black, Asian, Russian during a time when Russians were not necessarily shown, Scottish, so, alien, just showing people living their best lives, doing what they're supposed to do without racism, without like misogyny, without xenophobia, just living their lives, doing what they had to do for the good of the order, actually exploring space. and not trying to fuck up space. Even though Kirk did try to smash a lot of green skinned women, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
It's
Yeah,
love, man. It's love. Sixers are
It's
about
love,
love,
man.
man.
But yeah, it's basically them going off and doing things, and that's what I always loved about Star Trek. It's the mundane part of it. It's like we're doing something awesome, but we have to have a board meeting before we do it because we got to weigh out all the options.
It's the part. It's the part of Star Wars I actually kind of like. The
You
politics.
mean science fiction? Yeah.
The politics. The Trade Federation. What? Tell me more about these trade routes.
Yeah, tell me more about that. Why exactly are you blocking this wonderful nation with beautiful architecture for what again? And you have robot warrior army.
Like again, let's look at Andor. Half of that show was them in office buildings,
right?
Like board meetings. Like there was no there was a war, but it's like most of war actually does kind of happen in offices.
Yeah, you gotta. Sometimes it's just you see some bored Imperial just being like, I wonder what's going on down there.
Yeah.
Blow it up. That's the cool part where people are talking and there's dialogue and there's world building, and I think Star Trek does a good job at that. Like of really breaking that down. But yeah. But I think we all say we pretty much just say fuck Musk on this because ain't nobody gonna pay this. $1,000 a month, and that's what I'm saying. He's like pushing other, big corporations to pay this money. Will some pay it? Probably. Will some people not? Probably not. But that's not. But still, even then, that's not gonna net him the amount of money that he needs to be profitable and to pay whoever actually owns Twitter the money, because that's just nickeling and diming people now.
Not sure why I included this. This was probably one of the ones that was earlier and I forgot to remove it. But sure, let's talk about it. Hackers exploit WordPress plugin flaw that gives full control to millions of sites. The Elementor Pro fixed the vulnerability, but not everyone has installed the patch. This scared the shit out of me initially until I realized I was too broke to pay for Elementor Pro. I have Elementor free. I'm not sure if I was still vulnerable, but yeah, I did go and make sure that my shit was updated.
Imagine being broke is scary.
Open source software.
I'm like, well, if I'm broke, I don't got to worry about that.
Outlook has a vulnerability. Man, glad I used Thunderbird. But now this one could affect more people. Western Digital's MyCloud goes down after a hack. Western Digital has not said when MyCloud will be operational again. Western Digital has apparently taken its MyCloud customer cloud and backup service offline as a result of a hack of the company's systems last week. WD said Monday that on March 26th, it identified what it called a network security incident involving Western Digital systems that involved an unauthorized third party gaining access. Western Digital said that it's working with law enforcement and outside security experts, but that the investigation is still in its early stages. The hacker took data, WD said, but WD is still working to determine what and how much of it was leaked. Unfortunately for customers, WD's remediation methods involves taking systems and services offline where appropriate. That seems to have included WD's MyCloud service, which was completely down as of press time. If only there was a company that can provide you with your own personal cloud. Wouldn't that be nice? You know, you can just go to a website and have access to your own personal cloud infrastructure where you can save data to it. You know, like logos. You just click your files folder here. Pulls up all your files. You know, you can just drag them over. And then immediately, wherever you go, you pull up your website, you have access to all of your files. If only there was a company that would, you know, do that for you. If only there was a way to secure your info without being attached to the internet. I mean, look, people just need to learn how to back up their data in more places than one. I'm just saying. But I mean, sometimes you like to have access to your yes, we can have a big ass thumb drive. But what if you could just access your files wherever they happen to be? If only a company like that existed to help you out.
Well, we'll have to keep dreaming.
Personal cloud. Yeah, just keep dreaming. Going back to floppy, fuck this shit. Let's see what else is next. Samsung is discontinuing updates for the Galaxy S10 series and more. So, hey, if you are one of those folks who don't update your phone very often, now's that time.
Damn, S10 hanging in there.
Let's see, the S10, S10 Plus, and the S10e. Also, the Galaxy A30, and the A50. The S10 5G and the S10 Lite are still slated for quarterly updates from Samsung. So, yeah. You still got that flagship S10 from 2019. It's time to update a phone. This actually affects me because they discontinued support for the A71 along with the A72. Yep. It's time to update Tigle. Time to call Tigle to call. See, damn it.
To Cal.
Thank you. And that's it for the tech news this week. And of course, I do want to mention that, yes, we joke. It's fun and games here. But there are amazing companies out there who can help you get your secure cloud that's all yours, all your own. And it's fantastic. And of course, I'm talking about Major's House. Just this week, we rolled out Nextcloud support. So that way, if you want to be able to have your own personal cloud with all your personal data and be able to share it all, just to have a nice little personal place to share without having anybody interfering with your file amounts, without people, going in and kind of surveilling what data you have in your cloud. And if you don't know how to do that yourself, that's what Major's House is here for. We provide Nextcloud deployments if you would like to do that for you or your small business. Trust and believe that we are using it here at Major's House right now, as we're slowly building out the business. We have an unpaid intern that works here, who's working our social media marketing, which is awesome. Let's see, what else did we roll out? Oh yes, we actually did announce our pricing, our pricing structure with VPS and cloud app services. So definitely check that out. You can go to majorshouse.com to get more information. I actually need to put that. I need to figure out where I can put that information, but I'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, definitely check out. Also, we do offer Synapse or Matrix services. Of course, I've been using that over the past few days. Takao has joined on and has been helping me test the Matrix instance over at matrix.majorshouse.com. So yeah, We're rolling out things all the time. Again, showing that we do have the capabilities to run the apps that you need for your content creation or your content creation ventures or small business. Again, website is majorshouse.com. Designed for content creators. Works for everyone. And on to gaming news. Somebody killed Sonic. Who did it? Who done it?
It was Major.
It was? Oh no. So yeah, this game had a surprise drop on Friday. I guess technically April 1st in Japan, but it was like late Friday night, March 31st. It is definitely a game in which Sonic has been murdered. Yeah, I've heard, yeah, like that, like what is this? Yeah, how your man's die on his birthday? Like, that's sad. But yes, the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. It is a point and click adventure from Sega. It is free right now on Steam. Or a point and click visual novel. But yes, it is available for free right now on Steam. Pretty sure it was supposed to be like a an April Fool's joke, but again, it is a game that totally works. You can play it right now on Steam if you have not had a chance to yet. And yes, it is free. I downloaded it like maybe an hour after it became available because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't being, played for a reason. Oh, gee, who murdered Sonic? Could it be the motherfucker who has a game in which he literally chases down and does just that? Possibly. It was the Mean Bean Machine. Now, this has been a hot topic on the Discord server as of late. Shadow does have a gun. That he does. But I did not see a bullet wound. You know, it was Tails that got always been jealous. I think it was Amy. Look. All murders are done by like somebody that's really close to you. And like 9 times out of 10, it's the spouse. Who gets the rings that drop when he dies? Again, it's Amy. She wanted a ring. Sonic wouldn't put one on it. Wouldn't put one on the finger. She knew what to do. She was going to get a ring come hell or high water. And that man stays with rings. In gaming hardware news, Asus takes on the Steam Deck with a new ROG Ally handheld. Of course, this was announced on April 1st. And people kind of had a tough time believing that Asus would do this. But no, it is definitely real. It exists. It is a device, even though, man, they are taking their time. Also, you know what? I can kind of see how people thought this was an April Fool's joke. Because, I mean, if you're talking about smart contact lenses at this point, like, What are we doing? Oh, he was playing. Okay, he was playing on the Ally. I was like, how did he continue where he left off? This isn't a Switch, but he was actually using it like a Switch. You know what? I can see how people thought this thing was a real. This commercial seems really cheesy. Let's see, Windows on a handheld, no thanks. I don't know. Like, I would actually like to see how this performs with their hardware. Again, and like I was telling Tycho earlier, I would, or Takao, T, I wouldn't mind being able to run Steam OS on this. But honestly, like, it's taking me some time to kind of think about it. But the fact that they are putting Windows on these devices instead of like coming up with like a specific Linux implementation or some other off the cuff operating system for these devices, is that allows gamers to be able to install whatever launchers that they want on these systems and not necessarily be beholden to a launcher and only a limited subset of games. And yeah, like again, now like the further this commercial goes on, the further I am convinced. The further I am convinced that I understand why people thought this was April Fool's. Well, nobody said you hate it. No, Tycho, nobody said you hated it. Nobody said you hated it. So I don't hate it. I just don't understand why we need another Steam Deck Switch alike that runs Windows. This would have been incredibly provocative and tempting if it had Steam OS. And again, like that's my issue. That's my argument against it, because of the fact that for as long as like Steam OS has been out for a year, we can only play games that are on Steam that can be played through Proton on this Linux layer. If Steam OS was something that ran on top of Windows, sure. Honestly, like it's a thing of they get like this ROG Ally, whatever the ANEO or whatever, however the fuck you pronounce that company and their devices are. Now, granted, they come out with too many devices all the fucking time, and they're like $1,000 to start. But with those devices running Windows, you then have the ability to play more games. Like you then have access at that point to the entire Steam library from the jump. You have access to Epic, you have access to Ubisoft, you have access to Microsoft and Game Pass. You have access to EA. Granted, you have access to all of those too on the Steam Deck, but you have to do work that a lot of people aren't going to be willing to do. And then just even with, like, again, with Microsoft Store games, with stuff on Game Pass, that's never going to work. But like Diogen says here, like the price point of this will decide the market for it. The similar spec handhelds to this, like the NAOs are like, yeah, they're really expensive. So yeah, like honestly, I feel like these devices can coexist with the Steam Deck. One, the Steam Deck is the budget option. It is the budget option that, hey, I want a handheld that will play my PC games, the ones that are, you know, out there that people know about, that will more or less get the support for $400. It's nice and it's open. I can upgrade storage on my own. It's, you know, I can save money. Like, again, like I did, I got 64 gigabyte version, and then now I have a terabyte of storage on my Steam Deck. Shout out to Merge. It's like looking like that, where it's all right, I have the budget, the Linux version of a portable PC, setup. But if I want something a little bit more premium, if I want 1080p, I want a better display, or just overall better internals, and then I pay for that, then this device also exists. My issue with ANEO was the fact that it is a company out of China that came out of nowhere, in my opinion, that I don't necessarily trust. Now, we can say Asus also comes out of China. I mean, you saw the trailer, you saw the commercial for the Ally, and it definitely had subtitles in Chinese. But at least I know who Asus is. I know I can contact Asus support and get help for it. I do not trust ANEO any further than I can throw it. Windows is a hog of OS. Microsoft is going to get in the way. Asus is beholden to Microsoft and their goodwill instead of being able to control their own device. I get the benefits, but we are at a point where they can remove Microsoft from the picture entirely. Yeah. And again, like I understand that point, but until we get there, and I still feel like the games are also still beholden to Microsoft, because again, they're going to develop for Microsoft first, and like we're going to get to, literally in the next article, people are going to fix the big boy problem before they'll fix the little boy problem. And that even goes for just development as a whole. Nobody is developing games directly for the Steam Deck or even just Linux. Or there are people who are, but most people aren't. So it's the reason, again, it's like the reason why Microsoft products get viruses before Mac and Linux. It's not to say that they don't, but the lion's share of vulnerabilities and viruses are on Windows. It's the ROG Ally. It's the ROG Ally. It's the crack to get you into buying an Asus ROG rig. That's why it's Windows. Yeah, I mean, it's just more people are familiar with Windows. Like I imagine Windows running on I imagine, and I probably do know, like Windows running on Steam Deck is not great. It's not great. That is just, don't do that. Let's not do that, boo-boo. But the internals for this Asus ROG Ally might actually be enough to barely run Windows enough to just get out of the way of a game. And it may even just be a custom version of Windows 11. Let's see. Windows is perfectly safe. Everything is fine. Linux is at a point where we can run Windows games as or better than Windows through a translation layer. If Asus and others put the time in, they could rid themselves of Microsoft. I mean, yes, they could. And from a hardware manufacturer standpoint, yes. But I'm still looking at the developers and the ease of the use of the gamer themselves. And it's still like at a point now, yes, but it could be easier. It could be easier to do that. And again, there are just some games that will not work on Linux at all. I mean, it is a very tight it is a very public conversation we were having. And that's it. And that's the thing. Like, but will they be willing to do that merge? Will they be willing to switch packaging flat packs? Again, we as people in that space know it's easy, but not everybody is like us, which is amazing because there's three brothers, three black men talking about how easy it is to use Linux. Who would have seen the day? Who would have seen the day? That's why I love y'all. That's why I love the community and I love this podcast. The main problem with Linux is its fragmentation. Flatpak solves it. Don't tell Ubuntu that. Do not tell Ubuntu that, Verge. Canonical is like, no, snaps all day, baby. Snap it. But again, at the end of the day, I still accept Asus. I still accept Asus's entry into this space. And again, competition only makes things better. What are you apologizing for? Yeah, fuck Canonical. Shoot, I'll throw it up on the screen. We do not stand Ubuntu here. Wait, are we rebuking everything from South Africa now? Is that what we're doing? Now this one here, another Steam Deck article I decided to include. I do not understand the issues with what Naughty Dog is deciding they're going to do or how to fix The Last of Us Part 1. People are so upset that they're not making it Steam Deck compatible when the game is fucking broken everywhere. Why would we worry about compatibility of a thing if it's not working on the one system it was made to be compatible on to begin with? Can somebody explain that to me? Kevin? Sin?
I got nothing.
I'm over here with Kevin. Cheers.
Like, so many articles were saying, like, Naughty Dog focusing on fixing PC version of TLU as opposed to making it Steam Deck compatible. Like, I mean, but Steam Deck is PC, which means that they're fixing PC port, they're fixing Steam Deck port, but also more people play on big boy system than they play on little boy system. Why are we mad at this? Like, why not actually fix the deep-seated problems as opposed to the superficial shit?
Well, I get, for two reasons. One, because gamers were a mistake, so let's start there. And by gamers were a mistake, I mean gamers TM were a mistake. However, I do want to add here, because it seems to be like the most obvious thing here. People just have a problem with waiting their turn.
Yep.
With waiting their turn. If like someone was just like, oh wow, like this game that I've really been looking forward to came out on a console that I can't play yet, but they have plans for it. You know something? Happy that you're getting that over there on PS5. I will be also happy to see that when it gets ported to PC. The end. That is a sin statement, right? People can just have their turn for things.
Yeah, that part.
Just like I feel like that's just the whole thing, really, when it comes down to it, is people feeling entirely too entitled to have everything immediately and not just having to wait their turn. And let me go ahead and get really close to the microphone, like y'all don't have another 38 of those bitches in backlog that you still haven't played anyway, meanwhile being upset that another thing hasn't come out for you to leave in the dust.
That part. Y'all ain't finished Ghostwire Tokyo yet. Have you played Deathloop?
You got like 5 things sitting there on beta that you haven't either played on, you haven't even played the beta and given any feedback or nothing. Just hush.
A whole Final Fantasy about to drop in a little bit. Did you?
Well, we can't play them
the
on
Pixel
PC
remaster. You talk about the Pixel remaster?
No, I thought you said, are you talking about 16?
Yeah, I'm basically piggybacking on Sin's point of we have too many games out here. They're literally like Last of Us Part 1 is literally on fire. It's on fire.
But it's not available on my Steam Deck. It doesn't play well on my Steam Deck.
Well, it's on fire. It's not playing on anything right now.
There you go.
Broke.
Oh my God! Yes, I was hoping you were going to get that.
It's broke. And right now, y'all are so mad at the fact that it's not compatible. Y'all ain't seeing that the fact that it's broken.
Oh my God, that was
It's literally a flame.
That was a Harlem Globetrotters, like 5 people throwing basketballs off of a backboard for the 6th person to dunk it type of move. And yes, there's 6 people on the court for some reason. I don't know why, but like I threw it up as like, oh my God, I hope Kevin gets it. I hope he does. And he just yoked that shit in there. Like, oh my God, yes.
I was Shaq at the paint. I was like, I'm breaking backboards. I'm holding the whole backboard in my hand right now. Like,
oh my God,
a whole rim.
It was so exciting. It was invigorating. Yes.
Yes. But that's what I'm saying though. It's like you're mad, despite it's like the house is on fire. The people, like the firemen, are trying to put the fire out, but you're mad that they're stepping on the daisies to do it. You are mad at a small fraction of a problem when the whole of the problem is bad. Nobody can play it. Or at least a good chunk of people can't play it. Let them put down the literal fire first, and then we can work on compatibility. But until then, shut up.
Yeah, like it did not, like none of the articles, like it's not like, and that's what really got I would not have included the story at all. Like if it was just this one Eurogamer article and nobody else mentioned the Steam Deck, I wouldn't have just glossed over it, right? But it was like everybody was talking about Naughty Dog skipping Steam Deck compatibility to fix PC game. Like, it's the same fucking code.
Same code. But it's the same code, but that code is broken. The code is broke.
And it's like I don't know. Am I missing something? Is there something I don't get? Like, why are y'all so obsessed about the Steam? Like, it is like at this, like between this article and the previous one, it's like, do I not like the Steam Deck? Because I feel like as a owner of a Steam Deck, I'm like, I see no problem with these things. Bring out some more competition for the Steam Deck to possibly shit on them. I don't know. Do that thing. I'm not mad. It's like, you know, certain people having issues with other people's politics. Do you have to engage? No. Why are you mad? Or in this one, like, sure, fix the game. I don't care if it's not compatible with the device I own currently because the game is broken everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck's wrong with y'all? It's exhausting. It's exhausting. Kev. Finally here. Cheaper Xbox expandable storage cards are on the way.
About damn time.
Even though I don't understand why they use WD Black as an example of cheaper storage, because we all know that they mark that shit up.
That's horribly overpriced. You better off getting one of them blue whatevers and doing the same thing. Now, if it was like one of the blues or greens, I'd be like, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Microsoft appears to be readying new Xbox expandable storage options from other manufacturers. A new Western Digital 1 terabyte expansion card for Xbox Series S and X has been spotted early on Best Buy, priced at $179.99. It's the first time we've seen Xbox expandable storage that's not manufactured by Seagate.
Yeah.
Microsoft originally launched Xbox expandable storage cards nearly 3 years ago with its Xbox Series S and X consoles. The 1 terabyte cards were priced at $219 and manufactured exclusively by Seagate. While we've seen 512 and 2 terabyte options appear from Seagate, prices have stubbornly remained high, despite similar storage for PS5 consoles dropping significantly. I imagine that once the WD Black cards come out, Seagate's also going to drop its price.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, these cards, like, they're not cheaper. They're still way more expensive than any NVMe drive that you can get for PS5 or PC.
Yeah, because I was on like, I think it was like Twitter, and I seen IGN deals. It was like IGN deals, Kenja deals. I think it was IGN, and they were talking about PS M.2 drives specifically for the PS that were like, compatible for the PS5, and I think they were like for 2 terabytes. They were like 149.
Okay, what the fuck is the Verge talking about? How is PCIe Gen 4 slow?
Gen 4?
Yes.
That's bullshit. But again, it's Verge.
Oh yeah, they're the one. They're the ones with that PC, right?
Yeah, they're the one with that PC. So when I say like Gen 4 is slow, and I'm like,
Yeah, compared
oh,
to
Verge.
5.
I mean, Verge.
Yeah, compared to 5, but the PS5 only uses PCIe Gen 4.
Right.
It was
But
it was the only one available at the time when the consoles were built.
Gen 4 is not slow. It's like, are we talking about 3? It's like, are we doing the difference between 5,000 reads and writes or 3,000 reads and writes? It's still damn fast. It's still pretty damn fast. It's definitely faster than mechanical. It's definitely more faster than SSD. What are we talking about?
Wait. Okay, maybe I was just reading it wrong.
Okay, I'm about to say.
It says you can use even slow PCIe Gen 4. So when you click on that link, it takes you to the article where it says they found the slowest possible SSD that Sony's PS5 would accept.
Okay.
So it's not to say that they were saying the PCIe Gen 4 was slow. It was just that the slowest PCIe Gen 4 will work.
Okay.
We were putting the emphasis in the wrong place.
Okay, because I was like, Gen 4 is still damn fast. Like,
yeah, it is. It's like my WD Blacks in my PC are PCIe Gen 4. Like, what are we talking about?
Okay.
But yeah, it's
like what's mine again? With like Gen 3 and Gen 4 slot? Because I got the blue.
Yeah, if you got blue, it's it's probably Gen 3.
Yeah, it's probably Gen 3. So it's like, but it's still damn fast. Me loading in the Fortnite. Woo! I'll be like, I'm in Fortnite. Major, where are you? Major? Major?
Look, shade of compilation, buddy. It only happened once. It only happened once. I was there every time after that.
But man, okay. Yeah, you were definitely that one time, but then you were.
I just updated the damn game too. Let's calm me ass down. Calm me ass down.
And it was all because I was like, okay, that's not move. And then this Major. Okay, there we go. So like, because I was finna do the shout, and I was like, Major.
Look, Captain. Like for real, I really did think that Fortnite was installed on one of my platter drives. I was like, wait a second, someday right here.
But
then the game crashed. I found out where it was installed. It's on my D drive, which is the other. It's one of the two Gen 4s, and I'm like, no, it's in the right spot. I don't know why it happened.
That might be why mine does like that hard like freeze for like 5 seconds. It might just be all the shaders catching up with itself and being like, oh shit, we ain't got all the shaders. Hold still for a quick. Okay, you good.
Look, Ruin, to be fair, there are NVMe's in the Xbox. There's definitely NVMe drives internally in the Xbox. All they would just need to let us do is open the fucking Xbox and swap them out.
They ain't gonna do that.
Just put the OS on a USB drive. Let us have that. Microsoft, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm. That work out.
We now have the storage size that should be able to fit in there. Like the physical size. Come on, What are we doing? What are you doing?
Or a little partition chip on there, and then just be like, oh, you want to reinstall? You want to reinstall it? Cool. And then just be like reinstall, and then be like, do you want to put all your games back? Yes. Boop. Updates.
Yeah, it's not weird. It's just that smaller form factor. I think you found on in the Steam Deck or in like laptops.
Mm-hmm.
That's little itty bitty little one.
Little teeny one. Little tiny.
Xbox unveils sustainable remix special edition wireless controller, 1/3 regrind and reclaimed plastics. The new Xbox wireless controller remix special edition, as it's known, takes some design inspiration from nature, spotting a two-tone green facade, apparently drawing in lichen found in the Pacific Northwest forest, as well as earthy grips, finished with a topographic pattern. It also incorporates a blue underside, presumably representing the sky or the sea or a blueberry. As for the sustainability bit, 1/3 of the controller is made from a mix of reclaimed materials, including plastic jugs and CDs, and regrind in this instance being a process that mechanically recycles leftover Xbox One controller parts into a raw material that can be used to partially create new controllers.
I mean, that's cool.
It will also cost you $85.
That's not cool. No, I tell you right here, this pride and joy, the mineral camo.
I mean, what are you saying? Oh, it's blurry.
All right, let's go Day Strike. Camo Bros.
Look, what is our new name?
Black Mandos?
No, well that, but the other one.
Oh, gas station guys.
Yeah, it's like we're not the Bodega Brothers, we're the gas station guys.
Yeah.
The brand is strong.
Be like, the brand is strong.
The brand is strong. They should make them out of recycled Mountain Dew cans and Doritos bags. Don't they know gamers?
Listen.
Can you recycle a Doritos bag?
Probably. Good chance.
Is this sustainable because you can repair it easily? No.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Nah. I mean, I can't fault Xbox for trying. But again, when you're the only one trying, do you really have to try as hard?
No. Because again, that thing's either going to bottom out or it's going to be really rare and hard to find. Because it's going to be like dudes. It's going to be like dudes who are the equivalent of hype beasts, be like controller beasts. And they basically walk around with the controllers on the wall like shoes. Be like, hey, yo, man, I got the Day Strike camos. They didn't make only about 20 of these, bro. Bro, I got this. Bro, I got the Lunar Shift the other day, bro.
Yo, my controller's so sustainable because it'll be there forever.
It's gonna be there forever, bro. I'll be able to slap 12-year-olds forever, bro. It's gonna be a great time, bro. Bro.
They just need to come back.
They need to come back.
Just come back.
Just come back.
Work out your differences and come back, please.
It really wasn't a lot of differences. It was mostly like, it was like, I don't like this person. This person needs to go. Well, I like that person. Well, that's not gonna work for me. And then it was like, well,
enough of a difference.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering how many folks will buy it though. If people aren't buying this, like all the normal Xbox controllers, does that defeat the goal of sustainability?
Let me tell you something, brother.
I mean, yeah. But again, it's almost like, hey, why are hybrids and electric cars so expensive if we're trying to save the planet?
Mm-hmm. It's the investment.
And more Microsoft news. They have announced their new, they have announced the April Xbox Game Pass games. Loop Hero, Ghostwire Tokyo, and so much more. Well, not that much more, but Minecraft Legends is coming. Iron Brigade and NHL 23. About this when online store are trying to get rid of the stock. Wow. So Loop Hero is back on Game Pass.
Oh yeah. Walmart be like eating those. Huh?
Was Loop Hero on Game Pass before?
No. So I think it was another game. I think it was like Loot River. It was another thing with Loop. or Loot. Something called either Loot River or Loop River. It
I
was
don't know.
another like.
Diogen says that it's nice. It's nice. Loop Hero is back on Game
Oh,
Pass.
oh, it was. Oh, it did come back. Okay, well, that makes sense. That would be nice if some games did come back on Game Pass. That would be cool.
You sure I remember someone playing Loop Hero via Game Pass? I know Loot River was on Game Pass, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think Loop Hero was. I think that's new.
Oh, that's cool seeing that, though.
But of course, as games come in, games are also leaving. Life is Strange True Colors, The Long Dark, Moonglow Bay, The Rift Breaker, The Dungeon of Nehelbuk, The Amulet of Chaos, Panzer Corps 2, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Extraction, finally, and Quantum Break are leaving Game Pass.
Now, I've only played 2 games on that list. It was Moonglow Bay and the Rift Breaker. Rift Breaker was really good. I kind of held off because I was like, I might want to like cop that on Steam one day. It's kind of like it's a bit like tide events, base building type, where you kind of go, you know, you have to fend off hordes of aliens while like establishing a base. And it was actually pretty fun though. And Moonglow Bay, mostly fishing. It was like more like a fishing sim where you like, you know, like travel around, you know, like in a boat and fish and run errand, like basically do quests and cook. Was also something cool. But yeah, there was only 2 games. I never got a chance to get around to like Life is Strange True Colors because time and energy and narrative stories, and literally the one thing that I can remember is like people like like the licensed music mode, like the royalty free mode, like was like terrible, where it was just like
people air guitaring to nothing.
It was like
yeah.
Yeah, it was really cringe. I remember that vividly.
Yeah, like so I own Life is Strange on Steam, so and I do need to go back and finish that. But yeah. I think that's the only one. Oh, I did play Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Extraction, and I was like, no, thank you, nope, no, hell no, fuck this, I'm out. It is like, So yeah, I'm glad that's gone.
I'm very much a person of like absolutes, and I generally say this often, but I think I could say this without a shadow of a doubt. Nobody asked for this. Like nobody.
It was quarantine initially.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic, so they're like, oh yeah, we should definitely change this and then make them aliens or monsters or some shit.
Again, stand 10 toes down in it, because again, either way, no. Because again, Division.
Well, that also came up before the pandemic. They didn't expect that to really happen.
And then it happened, and it's like, well, damn.
Oh shit, we should make some DLC. People are definitely into this now.
I'll be like, you know what? Let's keep this going.
They won't be into it if you take longer than like a couple of months to develop it, though.
Or lock yourself out of your further updates. I'm surprised about Quantum Break. Microsoft owns that IP. I'm glad Dodging You said something about it, because Quantum Break is temporarily being removed. It's coming back. Don't worry, it's coming back. Remember how we were talking about licensed music being played on a game and it makes things super awkward? Yeah, same thing happened here too, where licensed music is making things super awkward, where they have to remove a game in order to clear some licensing, and then as soon as they finish that, they'll put it right back. Coming from Aaron Greenberg of Microsoft fame. Don't worry, Quantum Break will be coming back to Game Pass. It is being temporarily removed due to some licenses that expired that were in the process of being renewed. We'll let you know as soon as it is back. So yep. And apparently Remedy Entertainment had literally the same tweet. It is literally the same words. I thought they repeated Aaron Greenberg's tweet, but no, they're from two different accounts that literally say the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Quantum Break will be back in Game Pass soon as they fix some issues. Pokemon Stadium is coming to Nintendo Switch Online next week, but with a catch.
Yeah,
And you won't believe what it is. And before I even read it, and I'm pretty sure it might have just said what it was on the screen, I want y'all to guess what that catch is. What do you think is the big problem that people have with Pokemon Stadium coming in Nintendo Switch Online?
Could be emulation. Could be online play. Could be like Pokemon Home support or lack thereof.
You're getting close. Kev's getting close.
Body multiplayer?
No, when you said Pokemon Home.
Okay. So
it has something to do with the concept that Pokemon Home was trying to solve.
Oh, wait. Like transferring Pokemon?
Warmer.
Okay, trades?
Not quite. You were right with the first one.
Okay. Pokemon Home support.
Right, and you said transfer, then you went to trades. You were right with transfer.
So you won't be able to transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Home.
Or given the fact that this game, Pokemon Home wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
In Pokemon Stadium. So again, take out Pokemon Home, you had transfer. What could you do? What were you transferring to and from Pokemon Stadium when it was out?
Oh, it's right. You couldn't trade Pokemon. You couldn't trade games from Pokemon to Stadium.
No, it's the fact that, oh no, how can I bring my Pokemon into Pokemon Stadium? I can't transfer my Pokemon to Pokemon Stadium on the Nintendo Switch Online. Which, again, if you think about when that game came out and what systems were available when Pokemon Stadium came out, why wouldn't you be able to do that?
Didn't have the cable.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
There was no way to plug in a game. There's no way to plug in a fucking Game Boy into a Switch.
Nope.
So people are upset that, oh no, I can't transfer my Pokemon to Pokemon Stadium. Like the whole point is that I can battle my Pokemon. Like, motherfucker, oh my God.
I'm literally like
the whole point of Pokemon Stadium was to give you that stadium feel where you're battling Pokemon. If you wanted to battle your Pokemon in the stadium, pull up fucking Sword, Shield, whatever the fuck the new games are, Scarlet and Violet, go play in those stadiums. It's the same damn thing. I'm surprised they didn't emulate the Game Boy game too and then do a save swap or something. That would have been nice.
That would have been nice.
If only there was a way to store digital data in a portable format accessible from anywhere. Again, imagine that code was written to transfer data from a Game Boy. Like that's all I'm saying. Also, how were they able to do? I don't remember how they were able to do that though. Like, was there a thing you were supposed to? Oh, yeah, it was this little cartridge thingy. Oh no, where'd it go? Oh, is that it? Is that the little Game Boy thing? Yeah. Oh yeah, because somebody's selling Pokemon Stadium 2.
Oh yeah. Because it was like it would connect in through the port at the bottom of the N64 controller. Yeah, and then you would plug in, and then you would plug in like red, blue, or yellow.
Nintendo 64 transfer pack.
Yeah.
So
That was
maybe,
a lot.
well, okay, so maybe this is what we could do, because again, they sell the Nintendo 64 controller for the Switch, right? N64 controller Switch.
I bet I'm telling you that thing don't have it. Don't have it at the bottom.
Also, look at the top though. That's dope.
Top's dope.
Come on, someone has to have like a 360 image of this controller, right?
Oh,
Like,
YouTube.
somebody has to show the back of this.
YouTube unboxing.
Nah, it looks like there's something in that back part. Okay, so it seems like they just built in the rumble into that back port.
Yeah, because that would have been
Okay,
that would have been
hold
with
on.
the rumble.
Move your
pack.
hand. Yeah, it is definitely a solid piece of plastic back there. Like you see it briefly
Yeah,
before his
there's
hand
no
covers
port.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, that is basically
So
just
then,
for
yeah,
nostalgia.
yeah. So then we can't use this.
Mm-mm.
Damn.
Now the only thing I could think of is maybe home support, Pokemon home support.
But they'd have to make a whole new game. That is, it's,
Cause see, there's nothing I could think of that could make sense of you not being able to like transfer games. Like if you can like play on, I feel like you could play online with Stadium, maybe, or local support also. Because if you can't, and it's just like
doesn't say whether it is online.
now, see, if you can't play online, or if you can't play like local only, like I have my Switch, you got your Switch, and then we just kind of like play Pokemon Stadium together, I can't for the life of me think of why would they bring this back if they cannot do it the justice that it deserves. Because we can fundamentally play like Mario Kart, Mario Party, the Mario Parties online. You know, 1, 2, 3 online through NSO. Why is it that we can't do that? That's kind of odd to me, but yeah.
Nope, duke it out in 4-player online battles.
Yeah, okay. Because that in itself would not make a lot of sense to bring that back, and then we can't play it online.
So yeah, apparently that is the big beef with this game, is the fact that you can't bring in your own Pokemon, which I'm like, whatever. Okay, just
I mean, it's cool to see it, fine, but
no, I'm okay with the game, period. I'm just like over the fact that I can't bring my Pokemon into the game. Like, okay, whatever. I don't know, maybe it's just me and not caring. I just don't care. It's a game that I did not have that I now have access to. Yay.
Like this is one of those things where I at least understand enough about all the stuff happening there to know why, like that's a issue that they have with every like generation of or Pokemon game that comes out, is whether previous generations are transferable, because you just collect a whole bunch of them. You're just like, this was my go-to, and then they have a game where they're just like, nope, none of that applies.
Yeah.
Every so often.
But see,
and
my
so
thing is like
if you're
going, my thing is like they're going from the Switch all the way back down to the Nintendo 64 and Game Boy. It's like, yeah, that was never going to work. Why did you think that? What are we doing here?
I mean, it's one of those things that it's one of those things that has happened before where you're just like, okay, if you want to have like old Pokemon from things, they used to have like a really complicated thing where you can get old Pokemon on newer games like that. But the end of it just ends up being like, we're just gonna have to get used to the fact that y'all aren't gonna be able to take every generation with you forever. Y'all are gonna have to let some of these go and make new relationships with some of these very adorable creatures. Y'all are gonna be fine. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Now, what I would like to know is when they're gonna bring the Game Boy games of Pokemon to the NSO. That would be cool.
Oh man, I wish I knew what episode it was. There's an episode of Modern Family that shows Claire, the mom, trying to get access to a paper that she thought was worth like an A or something like that, and she got a bad grade on, but it was saved on an old ass PC. So she set up a whole line of PCs to transfer it from one storage medium to another, just to send it to her professor at one of her kids' colleges. Is it just to get their opinion on it? And I wanted to show, like, this is what I feel like Pokemon gamers are like, trying to get Pokemon into Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah, I remember a person who shall not be named because a YouTuber that did some fuck shit, who shall not be named. But what they did was they had an oddish that they loved, and it was on red, and so they would go through the process of swapping of basically moving it from game to game. They move it from game. It started on Game Boy. They moved it to Game Boy Color. Then they moved that to Game Boy Advance, and then they moved it to DS, and then they moved it to DS, upwards to 3DS, so that way it could go into home. And once it got up to 3DS, then it was like, okay, now we can move it to home. And I think that allowed them to like move it to Sword. And that's when it was on Sword. And I was like, the levels of what you had to do. Wild. Because I think it was like they had to use link cables and...
Yep.
Yeah, they had to use link cables because...
There was no wireless back then.
No, there's no wireless, no.
They bonded with that oddish.
Yeah. It's like that was the oddish. That was the oddish that I like beat the League 4 with. The Final Four with. So
You were right the first time.
yeah, oh yeah, League 4, yeah.
Final Four is basketball.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Amazon layoffs more than 100 employees across its gaming divisions. The layoffs include people at Amazon Games in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, the teams in Irvine, which develops the online RPG New World, in Montreal on an unannounced project, will continue to grow. Harman adds Amazon's publishing efforts will also expand. Laid off employees are already being notified and will get severance pay, health benefits, and pay time to find new jobs. That's how you do it. It's unfortunate that they are getting laid off, but that's how you do it if you're going to. Let's see here. Oh, I did skip over this part. The company has provided an internal memo from gaming VP Christoph Hartmann announcing layoffs of just over 100 employees across gaming divisions that include Prime Gaming, Game Growth, and Amazon Game San Diego Studio. The internet giant is also reassigning workers to projects that fit its strategic focus, the executive says. And last up in gaming, because again, you know, if there's two things I love, it is the the Star Wars Jedi series, PC specs. No, it seems like no. So in that article, it's saying that New World is actually growing. But yes, one thing there are some things I love in my life, and it's Star Wars Jedi series. It is PC specs. and storage. And I'm here to tell you that Star Wars Jedi Survivor, the newest game coming in the Jedi series, is going to require 155 gigabytes of free space. Imagine buying a base Steam Deck and you can't even install this game on it. EA has released the official PC requirements for Star Wars Jedi Survivor ahead of its launch later this month. And for anyone running low on storage space, you're going to need to be like Obi-Wan Kenobi in a Tatooine bar and make some cuts. Kev, I'm gonna need to know how that joke landed.
Like a dough wet thud.
The hardware requirements aren't too heavy to get the game running, but EA and developer Respawn Interactive are advising that you keep a staggering 155 gigabytes of space on your drive for the Fallen Order sequel. While game sizes have grown substantially over the years, the Jedi Survivor requirement placed it in the upper ranks of storage capacity requirements. It's more demanding in this category than Final Fantasy 15 at 100 gigs, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 at 125, Red Dead Redemption 2 at 150, falling just short by a few gigabytes of Medal of Honor Above and Beyond, which is a VR game, which clocks in at 180 gigabytes. And of course, for the rest of the PC requirements, to run a minimal system, you'll need Windows 10 64-bit, 8 gigabytes of RAM, or AMD Ryzen 5 1400, or an Intel Core i7 7700. Wow. I wonder what minimum means here, but that's not bad. A Radeon RX 580 or NVIDIA GTX 1070, 8 gigabytes of VRAM. Well, this because yeah, it's on VR. It's a VR game. Who's going to be the first to hit 200 gigabytes? Call of Duty. It'll be Call of Duty until GTA 6 releases.
Is that the base game or is that the mods? That's the question.
What, for GTA 6? That'll probably be base game. And this is not me joking. I really think that GTA 6, when it releases, it will be 200 gigs. That's a Negro Damas prediction right there. Stamp it, claim it, clip it. How big is WoW? Still not even that big. That is also true. GTA is really the only game those people will be playing. You gotta have to run the Rockstar launcher from the SSD as well. For recommended system requirements, Windows 10 64-bit, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and AMD Ryzen 5 5600X or Intel Core i5 11600K. Radeon RX 6700 XT or NVIDIA. I'm going to say RTX. I'm not sure why they keep saying GTX here. That is a ray tracing card. NVIDIA RTX 2070, 8 gigabytes of VRAM. Whew. So, yeah. Not bad system requirements. I mean, even for recommended, that's still like not bad at all. The CPU, that's within reason, I imagine. But we can find out. It is The Verge. Oh wait, was that game? Oh yeah, okay. Then it was GameSpot. Yeah, I'm sorry. This looks like The Verge, but yeah, it's GameSpot. Because EA has it listed as an RTX 2070. And this seems to be this seems like this is going to be an AMD title, because yeah, they went ahead and released the AMD like CPU and GPU as a, oh yeah, like the competitors alternatives is the Intel and Nvidia, in case you needed those. And of course, in deals this week, Xbox Free Play days for this weekend, we got PGA Tour 2K23, Black Desert, Bravery and Greed, and The Elder Scrolls Online. I might play some golf this weekend. I might go.
Sounds relaxing.
Yeah. Try to find some time. After my commercial shoot. That's right. Yes, I'm getting into what I'm doing this weekend. They called for reshoots for the commercial I was in, so I'm going out to the PNC Arena this Saturday. I think just before the League of Legends champion the competition they have in there. To shoot some commercials. Like, it's kind of like a tailgating scene, but what that looks like for gamers is going to be interesting. Outside of that, celebrating the fact that my son is going back to school next week. It's been a pleasure having him here, but man, I miss quiet time now.
Yep.
I'm gonna say he's been a nice distraction from the fact that my TV does not work. Also, did I mention that my TV broke not too long after the show last week?
You did not mention this.
Yes, my TV just died on me like early Friday morning while I was waiting for the podcast to upload.
Damn.
So now I have like a $700 paperweight that's hanging off my wall.
Damn.
So yeah, that's a thing I'm going to have to deal with. Like I say, like, yeah, it'd be nice to have peace and quiet, but then I realized, oh wait, I have no TV here. Oh, this is gonna suck. My son was keeping me company, and I'm gonna miss him now. That's all I've got on my end. It's just more of the same, but yeah, shooting commercial on Friday or Saturday. Friday, we're gonna play Fortnite until Fortnite breaks, and then we may switch over to Apex depending on how Fortnite does when I try to stream it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's all I got. Kev, Sin, what y'all got?
Kev, you can go first on this one.
Okay. Easter weekend. Easter weekend, Resurrection Sunday. Not really sure exactly what I'm going to be doing, but what I know I will be doing is eating chicken wings and watching The Mandalorian. Either way, I'm gonna be doing that. Tomorrow we are helping set up a Easter egg hunt. So looking forward to that. Yard work has stalled for possibly another week until I figure out how to change the oil in my mower, and also have to find a new pump to pump out the old gas with. So yeah, my yard is looking a combination of a mess right now, with a bunch of weeds, but I ain't in no big hurry to have it cut. I'm taking my sweet time. Thankfully, I don't live in no HOA, so I'm it could just be raggedy. It could just be raggedy for another week or so until I figure it out. So, what else? Fortnite, dubs, playing with, probably dabbling in a little Fortnite, a little Clan Folk, video games, cooking, relaxing.
Well, you can tell about those wins today, right?
Oh yeah, I posted that win on Twitter. That win was
Got them
crisp.
dubs, baby. Got them dubs.
Got the dubs. We got dubs in duos and we got dubs in trios, which is awesome because that was the first trios dub ever for that season for me. So that was great. So I got to do the solo dub, which I don't know how that's gonna happen, but I ain't looking forward to. I ain't in no big hurry to try to get that. So I came like close. I came like fourth solo, and that hurt my heart. That hurt my heart. But yeah, it's good. It was good times. It was good times. Slowly preparing for Roots Apache to take over my life. I'm trying to whittle down some games that I've had on my, that was been in my backlog because I know when Pacha comes out, it's gonna take over. It's gonna be a rough scene because there's some really awesome indie games coming out this month and next month. And I think I also did a demo video for a game that is a roguelite card building game. So like Slay the Spire and Monster Train, but with a deep RPG-esque story in it. And it's pretty dope. It's like Doomed. It really also kind of feels like Doomed Cursed World a la Elden Ring and Dark Souls, but with card building elements. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. But then also Wild Frost is coming out, so I gotta be like, yeah, I gotta judge accordingly. So there's literally like I think there's like 2 games that are coming out next week that I'm looking forward to. So yeah, time, not enough time. Again, TME, time, money, energy.
It's a triangle. Pick 2 out of 3.
Pick 2 out of 3 because you can't. You can have 2, but you can rarely have all 3. If you got all 3, it's a bop.
If you got all 3, it's tax return season.
It's Twitch payout.
You're not wrong.
It's the kindness of the peoples. But yeah, that is indeed. Not me looking over at TV at TNG, and it's the episode where they all get turned into children. But anyway, yeah, that's it for me. Cut this fan off. Oh.
So, my weekend consists of, or like a couple of things, packing, being in an airport for several hours, being in an airplane for several hours, and then being out of the country and contemplating whether or not I suddenly just want to like lose my passport. But, yeah. We're taking a vacation. So there might be some pictures. There's probably going to be a lot of walking and visiting a couple of people and just having some quality time with my person, and then eventually making it back this way on the 17th.
Yeah, I should actually point out that next week we will have guest host Merge Conflict joining us for an episode of Tech Talk Thursdays while Sam is away.
I feel like I should point out at this point that me and Merge might just be the same person because consistently we're the only 2 people who aren't in a place at the same time, even on camera. Because the one day that we were on camera briefly for a couple of moments, all of the power shut down. Like, there are things the universe does not want you to know about how myself and Merge are connected, apparently.
Apparently, because it's like, and poor Jerry is be like confused.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was a whole thing.
It was like, oh, did Sid change his background? And I'm like, no, it's Verge, man.
Who is the AI version of the other?
Also, not Diogen going, which one of you is the other one's like,
Who's the
like
replicant?
nobody in front of it. Yeah, who is it?
Say something that only Sin would know.
I will tell you, see, Verge, it's like the universe is hating on us and trying to keep us from being great. That's what's happening. I also want to add for, as an aside here to the ongoing saga between the one being that is myself and Merged, like apparently in two different dimensions.
Yeah.
Merge, I want you to know, apparently some of your coworkers believe that you are 28. Now, I don't know if that is your actual age or if you are older than that, but if you are, I just want you to know your skincare routine is doing wonders for you.
This is true.
Yeah, even if Merge was here, am I still the youngest person on the show? Oh wait, no, that's still Anka. Anka is still technically part of the show.
Yeah, Anka is the youngest person. Anka is the youngest person on the show. I'm the second oldest.
Are we both older than Major?
Yes.
Yes. Oh yeah. Because I'm 39.
Of all the shows that I've done, I've always been the youngest person in any show that I've been in. So it was a nice change of pace when Anka joined for the first iteration of Tech Talk Thursdays when I was actually the oldest thing. Wisdom. Well,
I'll take it because I'm not 28. It was very much the same of people like looking at me and being very confused. I'm just like, I am not that age. I am nowhere near that age. Thank you though. I appreciate it. I really do. But I am not that age. I'm that age plus like a smooth 13. I absolutely did. I was just like, thank you very much. I appreciate it. We take those around here. If someone wants to say something nice, nice to me entirely unprompted, I'm gonna let them have it.
Well, on that note, thank you everybody for tuning in to another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays. It's been a pleasure, and wow, it's actually 10:38. Who knew? Who knew?
Not us getting out on time.
I mean, yeah, this is actually earlier than I normally stop streaming. Personally, this is crazy. We doing this out here?
Yeah.
But yes, thank you all so much. Again, Sin will be on vacation next week, so Merge will be joining us for Tech Talk Shenanigans. The next week, definitely tune in, join us as we discuss next week's top tech, gaming, possibly streaming news. On behalf of Kev, on behalf of Cinsiac, it's been your Grand Master of IT, aka your favorite streamer's favorite IT guy. They just don't know it yet, so please tell your content creator friends, tell all your friends, tell your small business friends, hey, there's a dope dude out there who's trying to give you a corner, a piece of their own personal private internet for them to enjoy and grow their communities and or businesses. So I'm gonna go to majorshouse.com to get in contact with Major Linux, Marcus Summers. You know the vibes, you know the deal. Again, want to definitely celebrate Major's House for closing on their first client since the relaunch. It's been fantastic. It's great. It's fantastic. It's nice to be here. But yeah, we could definitely use some more. So definitely tell your friends. And hey, if you need some of that help, reach out to me. Send me DM. We can see if we can get things worked out. But until then, thank you everybody again for tuning in to another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays for April 6th, 2023. Of course, you all could have been anywhere in the world watching any streaming where you could have been reading the tech, gaming, and streaming nugs yourself, but you said no thank you. I'm trying to save storage space. So if I can just stream a video as opposed to saving it, I can save a lot of bandwidth. It'll be great, fantastic. Thank you so much. And for that, I say thank you. And all I've got left to say to you wonderful people is I love you and peace.
Wakanda forever.